double coverage.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. How you going, mate?
Very good, mate. Very good. Back again. Another week. It's, look, I wouldn't say a massive week in sport. There's a bit going on. It has dried up on certain fronts, but there's still plenty to cover. I mean, before you know it, things will be kicking off again in some other sports. But it's good to have a bit of a breather, maybe a tiny bit of a shorter show. We don't know. Could ramble off and end up at an hour and 20. You never know how these things land, Doma. But, a lot going on. Good to see your face again for another show. And what's on the agenda?
Just the usual, mate. Just this week, AFL. We talk a little bit about the FIFA Club World Cup, F1, UFC, and just a little bit in hobby talk because you did get down to Collect Fest. So we want to get your obviously your comments on what you saw. So I'm eagerly anticipating hobby talk to see what you have to say and where it sits in the grand scheme of shows on the calendar. So I'm excited.
We have to wait till hobby talk, but I'll let you know, ladies and gentlemen, what I think, my honest opinions.
There we go. Good to hear. All right, let's crack into it straight away. Get to the AFL and Thursday night footy, the centenary game, North Melbourne versus the Western Bulldogs. And look, we ran out of legs. We lost by 49 points to the Doggies. We put up a great fight for a half of footy. But their class at the end. Did I think 49 points was justified loss for our boys? Probably not. We played really well, and I didn't think it was justified. A lot of junk time goals, and just it is what it is. But we lose by 49 to a class outfit in the Doggies. They got a good side. So all the best to them. I'm not going to make any comments.
It's always going to be tough with your outs, and obviously LDU got concussion in that game early. So, yeah, it was always going to be tough. You did well to hang in as long as you did. The Suv was on absolute fire in the first half, and then, mate, you couldn't even find him. He was a bit of a Where's Wally in the second half. He was impossible to find, even though he was on the ground most of the time. He didn't kick a goal after halftime after kicking 5 in the first. And that was pretty much a look at your team. Suv kicking 5 in the first and not kicking 1 in the second. That was sort of where your team fizzled out, especially in that fourth quarter. You always knew the Doggies were going to keep up that pace of play, and it was always going to be tough to see it out. So, yeah, look, what can I say? I went to the game. It was, good fight for the obviously the, 100 years? Was it 150 years Kangaroos?
100 years in North. Got to see.
100 years in North. Had Dennis Hagen pumping it up before the game, giving the speech. Seen, plenty of the old veterans down there, Carey and,
heaps of them, mate.
Higgins was there. You had Schwassy. Petrie. You had Goldie. Goldstein was back. Boomer Harvey.
Cunnington.
Adam Simpson.
Daniel Wells.
Yeah.
Even John Longmire was there. Corey McKernan.
The works, mate.
It was everyone, mate. It was great to have him there. It was fantastic. Really, really great. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the job done, which I wasn't surprised with the outs we had anyway. So good luck to us going into this week. The next game, Friday night, we had 2 games. We had the Giants slapped the Eagles by 59, and we had the Pies slapped Carlton by 56. Carlton the shit. That's all I'm saying.
And they're going to lose again this week to Brisbane. And where are Carlton at? If I don't know. And you can have this conversation between, 2 supporters. Essendon or Carlton, who has the better list? I mean, Carlton, a lot of people would say Carlton has the better list. They but do they really? Where are they at as a football club? They're riding their preliminary appearance from 2023. They're still riding off that high because they haven't improved after that season where they played so well. The unity was there. Caught him in the cafe, Doma.
Yeah, that's right.
Back then, 2023. Nothing came in 2024, and looks like 2025 is going to be an absolute donut as well. Blue Baggers, Blue Broad family on YouTube aren't happy. The fan cams have been hilarious, can I say, Doma? And if you haven't seen them, go in and
I have to go. I have to go.
They are a cracker. They are a cracker. They do not hold back, and as you shouldn't, because it's been far, far too long, like it has with Essendon, that your team has not been on top. Carlton fans.
Speaking of Essendon, they lose to the Gold Coast Suns by 41. You played a great half of footy, and then they just ran over the top of your mob in the second half. I think that's fair to say. The Cats beat the Tigers by 72. No comment there. That's just a given. Brisbane win by 28 over Port, which was a given. Hawthorn beat St Kilda. Sydney beat Fremantle by 11 points. Good win for the Swans. And we said they'd be playing better football, getting their players back, but Papley's done his hamstring. So they get him back for literally a game before he gets injured again. And in the last game of the round, Adelaide wins by 13. Melbourne was winning this game for practically for the majority of it. But, their class overcomes the D's to get the job done. Games this week and our tips source, Carlton versus Brisbane at Marvel.
Brisbane.
Yeah, I'm going Brisbane. People's First Stadium in the Gold Coast. Gold Coast Suns versus Collingwood.
Pies.
I'm going Pies. I never tip against them. Dogs versus Crows, Marvel Stadium.
This is a tough game.
Good game.
Very good game. And yeah, look, I'm just trying to think. I'm really, really trying to think. I want to tip the Dogs because of being at Marvel, and obviously they got the ability to put up a score, but their defense has been pretty poor. And Adelaide is a top 5 offensive team, and they're a top, I think, 2 or 3 defensive team. Dom, I think maybe they might even be number 1 for points against. So it's going to be a great matchup. I'm going to tip the Dogs, but I think the Crows, and if they want to make a statement, they need to win this game. The Crows away from home here at Marvel.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to tip the Dogs.
I'm going Dogs as well. Next up, we've got Giants versus Cats at NG Stadium.
Jesse Hogan didn't play on the weekend. Will he be back? No.
Whitfield didn't play either. Sam Taylor didn't play either.
Yeah, I know Sam Taylor's out for a little while. But
Bailey Smith's back this week for the Dogs, they reckon.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I mean, because they had a training run last week, did Geelong, so they didn't have a very hard match against Richmond. Let's be honest. So
that's right.
Yeah, they should feel fresh. Same with GWS. They had a training run against West Coast, but they got to do that big long travel to Perth. I don't know, Dom. I'm going to pick Geelong. I feel like GWS is a little bit inconsistent, and Geelong could potentially get them with Bailey Smith coming back, being fresh.
I'm going to tip the Giants just as a difference. This will be the difference game, I think. Next one is Richmond versus Essendon.
I'm going to go with my boys, Essendon.
Yeah, you should get the job done. I'm going with your boys too. Hello, Magda. Welcome.
Magda, how are we, mate?
Dockers versus Hawthorn. Optus.
Oh, I tell you what, this has to be one of the great rounds of football that we'll see this season with the way these teams have lined up. Even you've got some Saladwala teams versing each other. I'm going to go with Fremantle.
I'm going to go.
I think Hawthorn can win. I think Hawthorn can win this.
I think they can too.
Home Freo just play a bit different on their home deck.
I'm going to go with...
Sarong had a bit of a down game on the weekend, so I reckon he'll bounce back.
I'm going to go Fremantle. with you. I'll go Freo as well. Sunday games, we've got Melbourne versus North at the G.
Melbourne. They get back. Lost by 60 against you guys round
Yeah, they'll
2.
get it back. I'm going to tip Melbourne. More than likely won't have LDU, and he wasn't subbed out because of concussion, but there's a big question mark on Tristan Jerry playing this week. And if he's not playing, we're cooked.
Big X.
We're well, Magda. We hope you're well. Also, Saints versus Swans. Is that Marvel?
Swans.
I'm going Swans as well. And the last game, Port Adelaide versus West Coast in Adelaide. I'll tip Port Adelaide for that one. Easy. Where's the ladder? Ladder. Oh, the Pies are in front by 4 games, aren't they? If it wants to load. They are 3 games ahead, the Pies. Top 4, 46 points, 44, 44, 44. So we've got Lions, Crows, Cats, Hawks. Then 40 points we have Dogs, Suns, Giants, Fremantle. Sydney's on 28 points. So they have to just smash out the wins. They can't lose, really, from this point.
They're not making finals, so I think it's pretty much set.
Yeah, they just can't lose. If they keep winning, if these teams play each other like Fremantle, Hawthorn, and Gold Coast Bulldogs, Cats versus Giants, they can gain a game every time these teams lose. But, yeah, they have to win every game, which is going to be very hard for them to do. So, yeah, very nice. That's it. Yes, Magda, rest in peace to Jota, for sure. That was tragic news that went around the world for not just football fans. It was just unbelievable, mate. Can't believe it's happened. 28 years of age. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So thoughts and prayers, obviously, to his family, his friends, obviously Liverpool supporters as well, and to all football followers on the planet. Very sad. FIFA Club World Cup Saucy is down to the final 2. I'm pretty sure. The final is on Thursday morning. If it wants to load.
No, yeah, it is down to the final 2. Hang on, I have it here.
Is it Thursday morning is the final?
So tomorrow we have Fluminense versus Chelsea.
Yep. That's the 3rd and 4th, yeah.
Thursday morning, no, that's the semi-final.
Semi. Sorry.
And then you got PSG against Real Madrid on Thursday morning. And then the final, I think, is on the Monday morning.
Monday next week.
Monday,
I thought it was Monday this week.
July the
14th.
The 14th at 5 a.m. So
that's the next Monday.
Wednesday, tomorrow, you got 5 a.m. and 5 a.m. Thursday, PSG, Real Madrid, 5 a.m. tomorrow, Fluminense versus Chelsea. I'm predicting Chelsea to get the win here. And then in that other game, I reckon, I don't know, it's a tough one, but PSG's been pretty solid. And are they going to go for the treble?
They're winning everything, mate.
They win they won Ligue 1. They won, I don't know if they won the French Cup. I'm not sure, assuming they would have. And maybe they're going to go for what is it? What would you call it?
Isn't that what
United did? The quad?
Mate, that 2018 won absolutely everything. I'm just having a look at this French Cup. Coupe. How does the French Cup work?
Coupe de France.
I don't know. If you could find it, I can't find it.
Coupe de France. I'll tell you exactly who won it.
I'm picking PSG to win the whole thing, mate. They're so solid.
So the winner was PSG. They won in the final. They beat Reims in the final. So if they win this, they have won 4 major champions. I mean, they've won everything that they could potentially win this season. So they would go potentially down as one of the greatest teams of all time, because it's pretty hard to do that, to win everything.
It is very hard to do that.
So I'm going to go with.
Jono says, does the
with
sauce
PSG.
remind you of a labubu? We don't know what labubus are, Jono. We only know what lapupus are on this show. We don't know
La
what a
Poo Poo,
labubu.
that's what they're called, mate.
I'm going PSG as well. They'll win it. Well, there's your FIFA Club World Cup done and dusted. All right, let's get to some Fabrizio Saucy. I'll bring up some Fabrizio, because you signed a player and yet cutting the lunch of Man United for another player, which is always nice if you're an Arsenal fan, not if you're a United fan, considering we haven't sold one player yet. But here we go. This young fella here. What's his name? Christian Norgard. There you go. He also says that goes with Kepa and Zubamendi. So pretty good signings for you guys at the moment, and they're waiting to agree terms with Sporting for Gyökeres. If they can get him,
what we need, Omar. Yes, striker. That's what we need. Be massive for the club.
You're having a very good off season.
Well, I'm surprised that. I'm not surprised that he's choosing us over United. I mean, even though he's got that history with the coach, Moore there.
Signing. Yeah, a signing. We're trying to get Mbuemo. That's our guy. Which I want Mbuemo, but anyway.
You having to play the United tack on him, mate. What's going on there with Osimhen? What's his posted there?
Galatasaray have sent 50 million plus 5 million to Napoli for Osimhen. Osimhen is keen to return to Galatasaray. Al Hilal remain involved in the race to pay $75 million clause.
Ooh,
can you imagine Al Hilal got Osimhen? That's cooked. That would be mental. That's pretty much all that's happening at the moment. Anthony Elanga went to Newcastle. Luis Diaz is a target for Barca. That'd be a good get for them. That's pretty much it, mate. That's happening at the moment.
We'll follow it. We'll follow it as it comes, and obviously prayers up to Musiala. If you haven't seen that injury, Donnarumma dived over his foot, snapped his ankle. His ankle was just dangling.
It was pretty bad.
Doma, I'll just say this. I really, really hope he comes back the same player, because I seen something similar with back in the day for Arsenal, Eduardo. He copped a horrific injury like that, and he never came back the same player, right? He never came back the same. So I really hope
this is the guy that we said on this show is better than Bellingham. When we compared them all, we said he was the best guy out of all of them. Do you remember that? When we talked about those talent, I still stick by it. I still stick by it,
but this could change a lot of things.
That's exactly right.
It's a horrific injury. I sent you the video, Dom. Did you see the angle from the byline there, the goal line along that angle?
Bad,
horrific. Horrific. I think it got removed, the video from IG as well.
That's bad.
So it's not there, but yeah.
And of course the last one here, you know. If anyone's going to the MLS, where they're going, to one team. Anyway, here we go. They want to keep their ambitions high. They want to sign Messi's international compatriot, Rodrigo de Paul. There you go. And the rumor on the street is, source, which, based off last week's conversation on this show, is going to annoy me even more, is that apparently Messi wants to return back to Europe once this stint at the MLS is done. Apparently. He's done everything in reverse. This guy. He's gone practically and retired to then come back. Anyway, man. I'm off of these idiots. As I said last week, let's move on. Let's get to some F1. F1 saucy, mate. I still haven't gone back and watched the race yet. I will do that. I plan on doing that tomorrow. But I'll spoil it for myself. Norris got the win because Piastri copped the 10-second penalty. Apparently, it was soft as butter. But yes, he cops a 10-second penalty, which is unbelievable. The DNFs were Antonelli again, 2 races in a row. Hadjar, Bortoletto, Lawson, and Colapinto, they all DNF'd. But the surprise packet source for his first ever podium finish, Nico Hulkenberg from the Kick Sauber. Yes, ladies and gentlemen,
all over it.
The Kick Sauber in the top 3, and he spoils Lewis Hamilton's podium. I think the stat is Lewis Hamilton's always finished on the podium at Silverstone. And he's literally
the big red tractor. He can't do it in the big red tractor, mate.
No, he's finished 4th. Verstappen 5th. Gasly 6th. Stroll 7th. Albon 8th. Alonso 9th. Georgie Russell in 10th. And then what do we usually say? When you get past 10th, we don't care. But we do care about one guy, and that was Charles Leclerc, finished 14th. Yes. Unbelievable.
How did Hamilton finish 4th and he finished 4th?
I think something happened. Something happened with Leclerc.
Okay.
So I have to go and watch that race. Unfortunately, I haven't. But good news.
Didn't even finish on the podium.
Yeah, well, he's got a Mercedes anyway, apparently. That's the rumor.
That's it. Slipping away. It looks like it's slowly. You have a couple more races, Dom. I think he doesn't find a couple of wins in these next 3 or 4 races, it could be a Piastri Lando battle off for the title.
Max spun out. Magda says Max spun out. He said Oscar got a 10-second penalty for braking too hard on a safety car. That's soft. He's still in front in the World Championship by 8 points, Source. Piastri is just holding on. So even if he finishes second in the next race, he'll be 1 point ahead. He just needs to hold on to those 1-2s. That's for sure. The next race is the Belgian Grand Prix, and that is on the Sunday, the 27th of July. So we have a few weeks off. Ladies and gents, before the next race. All right, Sauce, I'm going to throw it to you for some UFC.
Yes, Dom, UFC over the weekend. There was none. So we're just previewing the upcoming card, and I'll bring it up because I've got it prepared on the ball with this one. We have our boy, Derek Hotballs Lewis against Teixeira. Coming up, Lewis versus Teixeira. I'll click on it. And there you go. Derek Lewis versus Telson Teixeira. Derek Lewis, I think, is the underdog. Main card kicks off from 11 a.m. this Sunday. Prelim card would kick off from 9 a.m. 8 a.m. it does. You've got a few good fights. You've got Derek Lewis against Telson Teixeira. In the heavyweight, you've got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson against Gabriel Bonfim. Calvin Qatar against Steve Garcia. Nate Lauder against Morgan Chareri. I would say. I've butchered that.
It's Morgan Charrier.
Charrier, yeah, that sounds about right because it's French. Vitor Petrino against Austin Lane, and then Junior Tafa against Tukos.
The Aussie.
The Aussie in the light heavyweight. And then, it will go down. Look, Chris Curtis against Max Griffin. I'm telling you what, Doma, I'll just say this. I'll put it out there. I always pump it. I'll tell you got Jake Matthews as well against Chigby.
Jake's breaks. Let's go, Jakey.
Jakey, our boy. He's on. So, cracking card, Doma, I would say. Cracking card out there in Nashville, Tennessee this weekend. Lewis and Teixeira main event. But the prelims, everything looks cracker about this card. And you know what? It's obviously free as long as you've got subscription. If you don't, you know where to find it later. It's free somewhere out there. And it looks a belter. So tune in this weekend. Doma, also another note, I'll obviously throw this out there because I've seen it. We thought Tyson Fury was retired, but he's come out and apparently It's Fury versus Usyk, number 3. I don't know where the hell you get a trilogy if
you've lost.
You lose the first 2. How do you? Obviously, the money talks because fucking he's gotten a trilogy fight and he's lost 2 fights. This is unbelievable. I tell you what, I wish I never bought the undefeated card because I've got a card that says undefeated, but I'm gonna have to change it and put rub out the U in the end, and just say defeated,
and then put by Usyk. Is that actually confirmed?
He posted it. Fury himself.
He's lost his marbles, hasn't he?
I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but I seen that, so I thought it was funny. I thought I'd give it a bit of a shout, but whether it's legit or not, who knows? Maybe he's playing.
Funny. I saw him
game.
I saw him ranking fighters all time, and it's like GOAT status, and like it was like GOAT, great, good, and okay. He didn't put anyone in it okay, but he was going through it all, and obviously put Muhammad Ali GOAT, and then he put himself as the GOAT status, and then Usyk is like, yeah, he's just great. And I'm thinking to myself, he probably isn't just great because he knocked your block off twice, so he's probably GOAT status. Yeah, it was very funny.
So we'll see how that.
He believes his bullshit source. So I still love Tyson Fury. Look, but I always said for both fights that he was never winning. So I did say that. He's 36 years old. Tyson Fury names key fear for Moses Ituma. I'm trying to find this right. Tyson Fury v. Usyk 3. How do you have a trilogy fight? I'm with you. How do you have a trilogy fight when you lost the first 2? It's like the Origin, the decider. At least it's 1-1.
I know.
He's going winner takes all. His third fight is like if I said to you and Manny, triple or nothing for our Premier League bet. That's what he's gone with. I've lost twice. And I've come out and made a pay-per-view and gone, yeah, you haven't beaten me yet, boys. Like, what do you want about? Frank Warren confirms agreement for Usyk versus Fury trilogy. That was Bet365. It says it's going to take place Wembley Stadium April next year. That's Sky Sports. April 26, ESPN. And BBC 5 days ago, April 2026 at Wembley. So, yeah, it's looking like it's happening.
There you go.
Winner takes all.
As I said, I want to throw it because I've never heard of anyone getting the trilogy fight when they've lost 2. So
maybe he's going to put the stipulation in the contract that if he wins the fight, he gets the wins for the first 2. That'll be interesting. Record stealing fight. That's what it should be publicized as.
Wipe it off the record.
Winner takes all. Oh, that's cool. All right, so I'm going to throw to you for some hobby talk.
Hobby talk, ladies and gentlemen. We're into it nice and early, and we'll start where it's popular. Collect Fest. It was on the weekend. All over the news, Doma. So, I mean, I'll say this. And I think, remember I talked about the organizers of Collect Fest, and when you look into them and it had their company name, and I looked up their company, and then you can actually look up their company name on ASIC and see that they've been registered for like fucking over 15 years as a company running events and whatever. They've been around, right? So they've got a name for themselves. I sort of knew from that point when I did that deep dive that this was going to be a well-run event, and got nothing short of it. Like, it was well set out, well run for the most part from what I seen. Look, and from what I heard, I was only there for 2.5 hours, but the way the setup and everything and the way you went through, one thing I will say, it was freaking packed. They might have the capacity to make it bigger at some point. Who knows? If that's a possibility. But they had a lot of different stuff there. They had a basketball court, You could shoot for some Red Bulls. They had, the coin collecting section. They had clear. They had because there was people with some people with sneakers and some people with other collectibles, coins and pops and toys and other things like that. And then there was the trading card section. There was the sports section and the TCG section. And they had, these banners dropping from the roof to let you know which section was what. And it was just, really well run. They had the stage there. Obviously, King Gary Pokemon, who old mate, Mr.
King of them all.
Alter packs, crush packs so they don't PSA 10, so he protects his investments. Mr. Gary himself was there. And, look, I'll give him credit. They flew out people. They, got Whatnot out there. Whatnot had a big booth there. Tops had a big booth, like a proper section there. I think they had like Archie Thompson came. They had Copeland. They had AFL players come through at times. So there was a whole bunch of that sort of stuff. It was set out well. Look, the only thing that I'd say is there was no like trade area or anything. But what's to stop you from doing your own little? If you bought your cards with you, trading in the lobby of the exhibition center or anything like that, no one's stopping you, right? But yeah, it was well promoted because and it felt like that because the amount of people in there when I was there, rocked up the Saturday morning when it opened, was there for about 2.5 hours, then I ducked off to the footy. That's all I was allowed to get. I could get in. It was a good event, and
Vinny said over 10K for the weekend, and he said Sunday was heaps better to move around, and not so many blowing up the Pokemon areas.
Yeah, one thing I noticed was when I walked in there, that was the TCG section. I went straight to the right and started down the other end because it was just more space. And yeah, look, I wish I could have gone over the 2 days and had the experience of both days coming back and it was just unfortunate how other things on. It's just fallen that way. But
Vinny said Sunday
was a good event.
He said Carlton boys were walking around trying to buy or shill up their own cards on Sunday.
Hobby with Cage. What's up, gents? Heard Collects Fest was chockers. Yes, over 10,000 people through the doors over Saturday, Sunday, Cage. So good to see. And, a very well run event. And Doma, I'll say this. If, this is just the first one that they've brought to the table, I think it will only get better from here. They'll get feedback. It has the potential to take over 2 rooms at the exhibition center. So if you ask me, obviously if they get more vendors on board and everything, obviously the vendor table costs would be a big inhibitor for people because I think it was quite expensive. But in saying that, it may well be worth it considering the amount of money that they pumped in. And with the foot traffic, 10,000 people to come through, that's, more than any other show that we've ever had. I think Oz National did 4,000, the first one, around that. Let's see if Oz National can top it this year, considering that is over 2 days. And they've sort of tried to, pinch the name National and make it their own. So, yeah, look, credit to the organizers, and let's hope, the ones in Brisbane, the ones in Sydney go well as well. I'm not sure if they're doing any other ones in any other cities, but hopefully they go well too. And, this just kicks off what will be another event added to the calendar, just like Comic-Con, just like we know Hobby Hangout, and now hopefully Hobby Hangout XL. Let's just hope it's another one that's added to the calendar, and it's something that we can look forward to every year as consistent card shows. And yeah, I mean, we're lucky here in Melbourne. We have that consistent flow of card shows. I mean, we just had Hobby Hangout, last month, XL, then we had Collect Fest, then we've got, I think there might be a Melbourne Card Fair coming up. I do know there is a new card show that has come about as well, and I believe that's in August. I believe I followed him the other day, so I'll have to find it, Doma.
Vinny says coming back early next year. It was said maybe March in 2026. And Magda said we need the round table back. We need a lot of stuff back, Magda, but it's time at the moment.
Yeah, has anyone seen that? Oh, I should have sent it to you. Maybe I did send it to you, Doma.
I want to go to a North Melbourne card fair soon, says Magda. Mate, we got to go to a North Melbourne game together, Magda. That's what we have to do. Go to the footy together. But yeah, I know there's a few things. There's a few things that we need to get sorted.
I want to find this because obviously I want to give it a plug because this is the next show I believe coming up. I'm not 100% sure.
Was it the Archie Thompson was at Collect Fest?
Yes, he was.
Was that the flyer you sent in a group chat? So
yes, I did send it to you. I think it might have been on.
It was with the Oracle. WhatsApp? No, it was with the Oracle.
Oh no, it was not with that one. That was a different one. There was a few. Yeah, there's a few going on there. So there's obviously all of those. Some of those being card related, some being toy related.
Comic and toy.
I'm trying to find what it was.
Bendigo Expo, vintage and modern toy fair at the showgrounds.
Here we go. Collector's Choice Trading Card Show. Sunday, the 17th of August.
Collector's Choice. Let's see if we can find this.
I'll bring it up, Dom.
Hopefully Collect Fest goes on again next year too. Met Archie and cracked some packs with the man on Sunday. He said, I hit shit cards because I was from Adelaide.
Good on ya.
Archie's very funny. He's a very, very funny guy.
All right, I've got it here, Thomas. So obviously, we want to make everyone aware to as many shows as we can. Here we go. Collector's Choice Trading Card Show. This is the first one that they're running, and it's out in Coburg North. Sunday, August the 17th. You can, they got a link there to book your tickets. Go follow the Instagram page, CC Trading Card Show. Check it out. And ladies and gentlemen, I think $12 for a ticket. Kids under 12 enter for free. 12 and under.
Scroll down. Have they announced if they got anything special or?
They've got a few store holders that they've announced. A few, there's Matt's Card Shop. He's signed up. There's a few, that we know. McLaren Cards, I think it's organised by some of those lads as well. So definitely check it out and go follow the page. So I think this one's coming up. And then I'm not 100% sure if the Melbourne Card Fair is...
Just happy to chat, says Vinny. Interact with people, gave plenty of time, and so did Leonard Copeland on Saturday. Again, two great local legends. Yeah, mate, in one of my previous roles, we actually had Archie Thompson come to a sportsman's night at a school. He was hilarious. He told some funny stories. So,
and then as for the Melbourne Card Fair, I am... we have already booked tables for August 10th. Here's the link to the new table booking system. So there is a show on the 10th of August, I believe. So that's going to be interesting because what was that one on?
17th, the week after.
17th, the week after. So on the 10th of August, there's also the Melbourne Card Fair. Shano doesn't have a new thing out, or does it? Yes, he does. Let's bring it up, Tom, because we're going to make sure that we...
Both had Gary King flog Pokemon covered and more lineups for them as well. Well, that's good to hear.
There you go. August 10, then the footy only on August 31st. So August 10th is a Melbourne Card Fair with a bit of everything. And then there's footy first, footy only August 31st. So there you go. Good old Shano's gone to Vietnam in between. Thanks, Shano, for letting us know that. Appreciate it. And there it will be down there at the Big Plans at North Melbourne, very close to Arden Street. And, as we say, we appreciate it. $6 entry. How can you go wrong? $10 at the door. How can you go wrong? $2.50 if you don't want to go before 12 o'clock. If you go after 12 o'clock, it's $2.50 to get in. You can't complain about those ticket prices. Shane, he puts us on these shows in between. So August 10th, they have
That's
that.
a great job, mate.
August 17th, you got the collector's choice. We'll give people more of a plug of that when it comes. And then August 31st, there's the AFL only, I believe. So, look, massive round of shows over the next we're going to have over this last 3 months, with everything that's gone on. Collect Fest, commend them. It was very hard to move in there, especially, and as Vinny said, I can't speak about the experience for later on. I feel like for my experience when I'm going to a show, I don't personally like that hustle bustle at the beginning. I like to be able to move. I like to be able to take my time at tables. If there's singles to look through, I didn't really try to look through much of that stuff. I just tried to look for a certain few boxes that I was chasing and have a look at some showcases to see if there's some cards, nice cards. There was plenty of beautiful cards there. There was one Kobe Bryant immaculate patch order. I wish I took a photo. I'm an absolute clown. It was my favorite card that I seen there. I think the guy wanted about $22,000 for it. I think price was on it. It's a Grail card, Doma, that hopefully one day I can afford a card that good. One of his immaculate game-worn patches. I think it was a 3-color. It was a belter. It was just a beautiful card. And so there was plenty of those there. A lot of hustle and bustle. And, look, congrats to the organised Collect Fest. And hopefully it's only the start of something massive.
Bloody oath. Very nice, Sauce. Very, very nice. Have you got anything else on the agenda?
Yes, we do. I have one more. Let me just get it back up because I had to change it to find that collector's choice. Here it is, Doma. I'll bring it up. So, obviously, thank you very much to Sports Card Lemon for bringing this to
Gary was on the stage on Sunday talking up Metapoo.
Yeah, probably because he's got invested interest in the Metapoo. Metapoo sucks. You know that, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to revive it and get people sucked in again. Don't get sucked in. I'm telling you right now. If you want something alternative, One Piece. TCG, One Piece. You go buy One Piece. That is the alternative. Pokemon, One Piece. Dragon Ball's fallen off, so I wouldn't really go much into Dragon Ball. It's still got its hardcore fans, but One Piece looks like it is kicking off like a house on fire. All right, Doma, this is the new Panini Silhouette 24-25 basketball. 16 cards per box. Find 8 autographs or memorabilia. Yes, you heard that right, Doma. 16 cards only, and 50% of them are memorabilia or auto. That is great. That is brilliant. So this looks like, we'll go through, there's a few pictures here. This looks like this is going to be one of their many sets that they're going to be dumping extra patches and everything while they still have the license. They're going to print and produce as many sets as they can. It's a Christmas edition special with
that's sick, though.
Camelo. It's got and these would probably be hopefully game worn, but
they're
probably
get
just
rid
be
of the
player
stock.
worn. I'm hoping that they're going to be game worn or player worn. If they're just Dick Sporting Good patches, it's just, what can I say? I hope that they do fill it up like when Upper Deck lost the license. There you go. You got the laundry patch, D-Wade.
That's sick.
Like when Upper Deck lost the license, they stuffed the pack with a bunch of autos and memorabilia cards, and they made a bunch of sets. So let's hope this is what Panini is doing. I'm excited. I'll be interested to see if what it is exactly. Is it game worn stuff in there? Is it player worn? And if it is, maybe, you never know, Doma, maybe I might have a crack at opening a box. I mean, it'd be great to open a box, even if it costs expensive, to know that you're guaranteed 8 memorabilia or auto cards. It's pretty cool.
Pretty epic. It might just be our last hurrah buying boxes. Just invest in Panini one last time.
Never know.
Get a whole bunch of shit.
Well, I've copped plenty of that before, so it'll be nothing new, nothing I'm not used to.
Yeah, I know. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, that's good. Yeah, hopefully they are game / player worn / not Dick Sporting Goods. So let's just hope. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've got nothing else for hobby talk. You've got nothing else. Nice quick show, 45 minutes this week. Like we said, it's going to be some pretty short shows in the lead up to some new sporting seasons starting. So got some nice quick ones. Hopefully,
Vinny. Hopefully, that'd be good.
That'd be good.
That's actually probably somewhat worth it off today's prices. But
with 50% of it being auto / mem, that would be worth it. So yeah, that's it. Source. On that note, unless you got anything else, any final comments? Nothing.
No final comments. Hopefully, we're back again next week, which we will be. Not hopefully, we will be back again next week with more reports on what's going around in the collectible space and our look. One thing I will say, I am sad that I didn't get to make a video, but it's just if I spent my whole 2.5 hours at the show making a video, I wouldn't have got to engage in any part of the show. So it was unfortunate that I wasn't able to make some sort of content for YouTube, but that's all right. There'll be more shows, and
I couldn't get down either.
Trying to do a few more. I think vlog. We love doing the lives at the show, but I think with internet being too unreliable, I think it's just easier just to maybe do a vlog and maybe just do a pre-record and interview a few people if we get the mic out. I don't know, but we'll think about it. And I'm sure there's a few more coming up this year that might have a chance to make some content. So we look forward to it.
On that note, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Source. It's double coverage. And peace.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double curve.